Our hymn of the day is Let Streams of Living Justice Flow. The words are by William John Whitla, and the music is by Gustav Holst. In June 1989, in Tiananmen Square in Beijing, China, 1 million Chinese people gathered to peacefully call for political and economic reform. However, the government suppressed their protests with brutal force, using military soldiers and tanks, killing over 10,000 unarmed protesters. In Buenos Aires, mothers wearing diapers as headdress bravely protested the disappearance of thousands of their children at the hands of a ruthless dictator and right-wing death squads. It was these two events that inspired William Whitla to write the text of our hymn. Born in Galt, Cambridge, Ontario on May Day 1934, for over 30 years he was professor of English and Humanities at York University in Toronto. He received his bachelor's in English Language and Literature in 1957 at University College, Toronto. Went on to get his master's in English at University of Toronto in 1961, and eventually his bachelor's in Sacred Theology the same year at Trinity College in Toronto. He took holy orders and was ordained a priest in the Anglican Church of Canada in 1963, subsequently earning his D.Phil in English from Merton College, Oxford in 1968. In the Evangelical Lutheran Worship Book, his text is set to Gustav Holst's Thaxt, the tune for Jupiter from his symphonic work The Planets, composed between 1914 and 1918. Pretty much a one-hit wonder from this work. We know him perhaps better for a setting of In the Bleak Midwinter. Holst was born in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire in 1874. His Scandinavian roots reveal a long line of family musicians. His great-grandfather, Matthias, was a musician in the Imperial Russian court at St. Petersburg. He immigrated to London as a music teacher and composer and wrote, among other things, Lord Wellington's Grand March and Waltz. His grandfather, Gustavus Valentine, settled in Cheltenham, teaching harp and piano. Holst's mother, who died when he was only 8, and his father were both musicians. His papa, Gustavus Matthias, was a pianist, teacher, and organist at All Saints Church in Cheltenham. From both of these, he learned violin, piano, and trombone. Suffering from asthma, myopia, and severe neuritis in his right hand, he gave up the keyboard and concentrated on his trombone and turned to composing. He began his education at Cheltenham Grammar School, studied at the Royal College of Music, and studied counterpoint for 4 months with the organist at Merton College, Oxford. His first professional appointments at 17 was as organist and choirmaster at Wick Risington in Gloucestershire, which included conducting the Community Choral Society in Burton-on-the-Water. He then taught at James Allen's Girls' School in Dulwich, as well as the Passmore Edwards Settlement, where, among other innovations, he gave the British premiere of 2 of Bach's cantatas. His best-known teaching positions were director of music at St. Paul's Girls' School, Hammersmith, from 1905 until his death, and director of music at Morley College from 1907 to 1924. In 1917, he moved to a house in the center of the village of Thaxt, hence the name of this tune. He became an occasional organist and choirmaster at Thaxt Parish Church and developed an interest in bell ringing. He was founder of a series of Whitsun festivals, which ran from 1916 until he died. And at 21, he met Rayfond Williams, and the two became lifelong friends. He died in London in 1934 at the age of 59 of heart failure following an operation for an ulcer. He is interred at Chichester Cathedral in Sussex.